With us this afternoon. We are going on with the conference on European Observatory of Organic Wine Consumption with Amandine Lama from IPSOS. So have a nice time.
Thanks for joining us just after lunch. I will try to keep you awake. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We'll have a session for questions at the end. Okay, so I'm here to present the survey we did with IPSOS. We selected 3 European countries. We surveyed 1,000 French people, 1,000 British people, and 1,000 Germans. And we used representative samples of the population of each of these 3 countries. So we interviewed people aged 18 and over. And we used the quota method, which means that we put quota to make sure that we have a nice sample when we are representing properly men, women, people from all occupation background, from all the regions. So you have a nice picture of what the population of these 3 countries look like. So first, a few questions that give you some background information about why the organic wine consumption is rising in Europe. We asked the European people to tell us what is their feeling about a few statements that are listed here. For example, we asked them whether they agree or not with the fact that they are worried with the planet's future. And you can see you have 81% of the people, European people, saying that they are very worried about the planet's future. Is something very important that we can see rising in all the opinion surveys. And we have the chance for this survey that it was already conducted 6 years ago in 2015. And you can see it's really rising. It's the figures in gray. It's showing like you have +8% of people who are saying that they are worried about the planet future. So the fact they are worried is really accelerating like these days, like in the last years. And it's very high in France, in Great Britain also, and a bit less in Germany. But you see it's very much rising also with +9 points. You have also a very big interest for traceability and knowing where the food is coming from. We asked them to tell us if they agree or not whether the fact to know the origin or the provenance of the food is important for them or not. And 77% say it's very important. So it's extremely important in France. You can see you have 88% of people saying it's important for them. A bit less in Great Britain, and 77% in Germany. So overall, it's something very important for Europeans. We asked them also whether it's important for them or to choose products from their region. It's the third item. It's the first time we test this, and it's something that is really important now for the European consumers, is to look for the products from their region, local products. And you can see it's true for France, it's true for Great Britain, and it's even more true for Germany. They're really looking for local products. And what we can see is that it's something that more senior people, like people aged like 60 and over, for example, they are looking especially for the local products from their regions. And sometimes it's a bit in competition finally with organic products, even though you can have local and organic products. But you have the young Europeans looking especially for organic products, whereas the senior are a bit more looking for the local, like the regional products. We asked them also whether they are willing to pay more for environmentally friendly products. And you have a majority, like almost 2/3 of Europeans that are saying yes, they are willing to pay. So, okay, it's a way of declaring things, so it doesn't mean like they are going to do it like every time they do a purchase. But there's the feeling, okay, that the organic products, it has a cost, and we'll see it later with the organic wine. But they are willing, and they are more willing than in 2015. You have +6 points. They are more willing now to pay for these products because they are very worried with the environment and they want to do something. And it's something we can see in our surveys, when we like look at every kind of products, and especially I'm thinking of the mobility surveys we're doing and electric vehicles, for example, back like 5 years ago, you had only a minority of people saying they would like think of buying an electric car. Now people are really like thinking, okay, I have to do something. I'm ready to like buy my purchase, change my habits, and I'm going to like change my way of consuming things. We asked them also whether they think that organic products are healthier, and it's a majority thinking that these organic products are healthier, and the impact on health is something very important for them, especially in France. You can see on the right, 71% think that organic products are healthier. And finally, we asked the consumers whether they often buy or not organic products, and it's now 1 in 2 buying often organic products. It's a lot. Like 5 years ago, it was like 11 points less. So you can see really an increase in the regular buying of organic products, whatever they are, not only organic wine. It's also a tendency you can see for all the organic products, and especially in France. You can see 53% now saying that they are buying often organic products. It's 15 points more than only 5 years ago. So the evolutions are quite big, like 5 years or 6 years, sorry. 6 years is not that much, and you can see that it's really rising sharply. Oh, sorry. Then we asked a series of questions about the consumption and the purchase of wine. So all kinds of wine, conventional wines also, not only organic wine first, because we wanted to see how the consumption of wine is evolving in Europe, and not only organic wine. So we asked the Europeans how often they are drinking wine, and in the last 6 months, how often they did drink wine. And you have 32%, so it's in dark blue, saying that they have consumed wine at least once a week in the last 6 months. So this proportion is quite stable. So it's 1 person in 3 drinking wine every week. But if you look more down, like we proposed, like 2 to 3 times a month, once a month, less often than never, if you take all the people who said at least sometime, like they had some wine within the last 6 months, it's 73%, and this proportion is really decreasing. So we had, like, of course, as you know, a very special situation in the last, like, 2 years. And the people who were drinking wine more occasionally, they lost some occasions, like that they were drinking, like they were having a drink only or opening a bottle only when they were making a big gathering with the family, or when they were buying a bottle of wine to go and have a dinner with friends. These people who were really only occasionally drinking wines, they a bit lost this habit, they lost this occasion. But the people who really had the habit of drinking wine regularly, you can see the proportion was stable, like 32%, minus 1 point only compared to 2015. So it means it remained the same. What's interesting also is to see the differences between the country, especially if you look at the people who are regularly drinking wine. You can see the French still very, although it's a bit decreasing, but the habit is still there, and it's more, you have more regular wine drinkers in France than in Great Britain and in Germany. So it's really like part of our culture, and it's staying even now. If you look at who are the wine consumers, we looked at their profile. So all the wine consumers, like the ones who drink at least one time in the last 6 months, and on the right side is the people who are drinking at least once every week. Globally, they have the same profile. Like it's more people who are a bit more wealthy. So you have the managers, you have the high incomes, you have the most qualified, You have the French, this is the thing that we were seeing before in the previous slide. You have the seniors, and it's something that we'll see is quite different with the organic wine. So the culture of wine drinking and regularly wine drinking is more something that seniors are doing, even though if you look at the proportion of people under 35 who are drinking wine, you can see it's still a large majority tasting wine in Europe. You can see it's 70% of people under 35 who have had wine at least once in the last 6 months. So it's less than seniors, 77%, but still 70% is quite big. So it means the habit is not like getting lost between the generations. And if you look at the people who are drinking at least once every week, you can see the seniors is 38%, and it's less for the under 35, but still you have almost like you have 29% of the young people in Europe drinking wine. And it is still a bit more men than women. So if you take only occasional drinkers, you cannot see much the difference. If you look at the people drinking every week, you can see a bit more the difference. It's 37% of men and 26% of women. So 9 points the difference. 11 points. Then we asked the questions about the purchase of wine. Before it was about the consumption, how often do you consume wine? This time we asked the question about how often you purchase wine. But you can see a bit the same information is that the proportion of people who are buying wine very regularly is quite stable, like it's 29% that are buying at least twice a month, so it's quite a lot. And it's stable compared to 2015. And if you take the proportion of people who have bought at least one time wine within the last 6 months, is 72%, so it's minus 6 points. So it's decreasing, and you can see that this tendency is true in France, in Great Britain, and in Germany. It's decreasing, and the people who are occasionally buying a bottle of wine, like certainly again, the occasional drinkers, the people who were buying a bottle of wine to go at friends or for a party, you lost them like between with the COVID between 2015 and now. However, if some people are buying less wine, what we can see is that they are ready to pay more money than they used to pay before. So this is not something that we saw with the price of bottles that were paid, like it's not with the cash, with the tickets from the supermarkets. It's the questions that we ask to the consumers. How much do you spend on average for the purchase of a bottle of wine? They give us a figure, and then we make an average. And the average price that they are saying they are paying is 11 euro. And it's an increase of 3 euro compared to 2015. So it's quite a big increase. And you can see some difference, in Great Britain, France, it's a bit more, 11.70 euro in France, it's 12 in Great Britain, and it's a bit less in Germany. But in the 3 countries, the average price paid that they are saying they are paying for a bottle of wine is increasing. And if you look at the detailed answers, what you can see is that the part who are saying they are paying 15 euros or more is the one that is mostly increasing. You have 5 points more, people paying 15 euro or more for their bottle of wine. And if you take the bottles that are 20 euro or more, it's even plus 6 points. Whereas for the cheaper bottles, it's the part that is decreasing. So there's a willingness to maybe drink less, but when you buy a bottle of wine, you want really to please yourself, and you're paying a bit more for this bottle of wine. Now for the organic wine. So we ask again a series of questions, but this time specifically on organic wine, and we ask Europeans whether they have ever consumed organic wines. And you have 4 Europeans in 10 saying that, or almost 4, who have already tried organic wines. And it's a big increase compared to 2015. It's plus 9 points, so we had 30% in 2015. Now it's 39%. And if you look at the detail by country, you can see now in France, it's a majority of people who have already tried organic wine, 54%, and it's plus 18 points compared to 2015. So it means it's a really big evolution. Like when we are looking at barometers, we are not used to see like more than plus 10 points of evolution. So it's a sharp increase here. And people who are drinking it regularly, they have also increased, but you can see that mostly it's people who have started like trying this product and tasting. And there's quite a big difference with Great Britain and Germany in terms of level. Even if you see it's increasing also in Great Britain especially. You have 29% of the population who have already tried organic wine. And it's plus 8 points compared to 2015. In Germany, it's 1/3 of the population, so a bit more than in Great Britain, but it's more stable. And regarding the characteristics of organic wine consumers, we did the same exercise that we did before with the conventional wine. We look at the profile of people who are drinking organic wine. And you can see the same characteristics. They are mostly managers. The managers are more likely to drink organic wine than the people who are earning less, the workers. You can see the most qualified, the high incomes, it's a bit the same people. These categories, they're a bit crossing each other. You have the French, who have tried more organic wine than the Germans or the British. You have a bit more men than women, but the difference between men and women is less big than if you look at wine in general. And the big difference is here is that you have the young people who are drinking more organic wine than the seniors. And something really striking, because if you take all the wine consumption, it's more something that the seniors are doing. But here, when you take the organic wine, it's more something that the young are interested in. And it's something also that is more done by people in urban settings, like Parisians and Londoners. They have more often tried organic wine than other people in their country. And it's a big proportion. Like if you look, the inhabitants of Greater Paris is 75% already drinking organic wine. We asked them the same question as before about the price they're willing to pay for a bottle of wine, but this time specifically on organic wine. And what you can see is that the average price they're willing to pay is even higher than for conventional wine, which is quite logical. But it's 13.90 euro for one bottle of wine, and it's increasing a lot because it's plus 5 euro compared to 2015 only. I mean, like it's a big increase. And the difference you can see again between the countries, in Great Britain, the British are especially willing to pay a high price for organic wine, almost 19 euro. It's almost plus 7 euro increase. French a bit less, 14 euro, and the Germans 10 euro on average. And again, as we were seeing with the conventional wine, the proportion of people saying they're willing to pay up to 5 euro or even up to 14 euro is the proportion that is decreasing. And the part of people who are willing to pay more than 15 euro is the proportion that is increasing, especially more than 20 euro. You have plus 10 points compared to 2015. So it's again a sign, and it's shown by the average also, that the people are increasingly willing to pay more for a good bottle of wine. They drink less, okay, when they drink, they want a good bottle of wine and they're ready to pay for it. Now, what's the image of organic wine? We asked the Europeans what they were thinking about organic wine compared to non-organic wine, so conventional wine. Was it more expensive? Yes. 69% said, yeah, organic wine is more expensive than non-organic wine, and it's something, the opinion that is shared by French, British, Germans. It's also more environmentally, sorry, it's hard for the French, friendly. 61% saying it's more friendly for the environment. It's respectful of the producer. It's more respectful for the producer. You have almost 1 in 2 saying this. The part in yellow is the people saying that it's neither more nor less. There is no difference finally. And red, organic wine is less. So 1% in 2 thinks it's more respectful for the producer. And finally, the last thing, it's better for my health, 37%. You could see when you're taking all the organic products, not only wine, but all the organic food, people are convinced that it's better for their health. If you look at alcohol specifically, it's a bit difficult to say for some people that it's better for their health because it's still alcohol or it's still wine. So it's a bit logic that you have a bit less. So, but it's better for their health for 37%, and you have 1% into saying it's neither better nor worse. Then we asked them what was their main motivation when they're drinking organic wine. So this question was asked only to the people who were drinking organic wine. What they're saying is that it is the environment that is the main motivation. It's better for the environment. That's why I'm consuming organic wine. 54% choosing this explanation, and it's true in the 3 countries. Is the first motivation. Then you have the curiosity to test this product. 40% are saying that's the reason why they have tried organic wine. It's coming in second position, and it's quite interesting because it's showing that there's really something that there's a motivation that is really not only curiosity. It's a product that is already well established in Europe, and now people they have a motivation that is different. It's not only I'm curious and I want to see. It's really something driven by the environmental concerns. Because it promotes fairer production process, it's a bit behind, 35%, so maybe there's a need to communicate on this, but still it's increasing, it's plus 6 points compared to 2015. Because you think it's healthier, it's a bit behind again, but it's totally logic with what we have seen before in the slide before. The link between health and wine, be it organic wine, is maybe a bit more complicated to do. Higher quality product, a bit behind. Because you systematically prefer organic products no matter what they are, 18%. It's quite interesting that it's a bit low, so it's not something like general, like I drink organic wine just because I would eat anything organic, I would consume anything organic. So there's something also specific, a specific motivation with wine. And last, because you think it tastes better than non-organic wine, it's not the main motivation, although it's a bit more chosen by people in Great Britain. 21% are choosing organic wine for this reason. Then we asked the people who have never bought organic wine why they have never bought organic wine. The first thing is they are saying they are lacking information about this product. So they don't know well what it is about, like why is it organic? So 38%, and it's something that is increasing, plus 7 points. Because you think organic wine is too expensive, 36%, and we saw in previous slides, is part of the image of the organic wine is considered as more expensive than conventional wine. And you can see the conventional wine is chosen by people who have more money. Like it's more something that people with high income are consuming. So the price is, of course, something that we have to look at. Because you can't easily find it at the store where you usually shop, 23%. It's more true in Great Britain and a bit more in Germany than in France, 18%. Now there's a lot of offer of organic wine in many shops in France. Because you find that organic wine is not of a better quality than a non-organic wine, 23%. So it's not one of the main things, but still for part of the consumers, they don't see the difference of quality. And because you don't trust organic products in general, 12%. So some people like just don't want to try organic products at all. Then this year, we had some questions for the first time about organic beer and the consumption and purchase of organic beer. We asked Europeans whether they have already tried or not organic beer, and we have 22% of Europeans saying they have already tried organic beer. It's less than organic wine. Organic wine, just as a reminder, it was 39%. Organic beer, 22%. But given like our recent this tendency is, it's quite big already. And we were quite surprised as French, finally, that the proportion is so big in France. You have 30% of people who have already tried organic beer. When you look at Great Britain and Germany, who are bigger producers of beer, finally, you have less people in Great Britain and Germany who have already tried organic beer. And if you look at the profile of these beer, organic beer consumers, you can see a bit the same thing as we were seeing with the organic wine. You can find more managers than other people. You can find more French, but you can find also more young people. So the young people is same thing as for the organic wine. You could see that the fact that it's organic is attracting a lot the young people, like for the organic wine, but it's also that the young people are also big beer drinkers, so you can see them more in the organic beer drinkers here. But you can see the most qualified, the men and the high incomes, and again, same as for the organic wine, the Parisian and the Londoners more represented than the rest of the country. And when we asked them what was their main motivation to drink organic beer, this time they choose first to try out this product. 44% are saying this, especially in France and Great Britain, so it's coming first. Remember, for organic wine, it was second. The product is more established already. Organic beer is something more new, so there is still this thing of curiosity. I want to try this new small beer, organic beer. So the first motivation. Second one, because its cultivation and production are more environmentally friendly. So the environment, second motivation, again, same like the organic wine is among the main motivation. It's really driving the consumption of organic wine, beer, and organic products in general. The fact that it promotes a fairer production process is coming in third position. Again, same as the previous slide, is something that some people have more trouble to understand, like how organic products are promoting fairer production process. It's an important driver, but it's not coming first. Like the environment is coming first. Because it's a higher quality product, it's coming after, and about the same level, the other reason, it tastes better than non-organic beer. I think it's healthier, and because I systematically prefer organic products, whatever they are. Again, it's the last reason cited. Thank you very much, then.